Hey, I'm Joel with Power Stance Import Export, and thanks for checking us out. This is a video for an eBay listing, but if you happen to stumble across it through a random YouTube search or suggestion and you have any questions about these vehicles, don't hesitate to give us a call at the number listed above, or you can find us online at powerstanceimport.com. Also, Instagram, Facebook, this YouTube channel, or even the eBay store at Power Stance Import Export. We are the largest supplier of Land Rover Defenders in Michigan and most of the Midwest, and we're a licensed used car dealer located right here in Oxford, Michigan. Thanks for watching. Okay folks, and up for sale today I've got a beautiful 1997 Land Rover Defender 110 5-door county station wagon in Coniston green. Now this is a right-hand drive UK import. It has been legally imported. It's now located here in Michigan and comes with a clean, clear Michigan title. So let me walk you around the vehicle. I'll show you outside, inside. We'll look underneath it as well and take it for a test ride. Now, this is the 300 TDI 4-cylinder turbo diesel, and this truck has a lot of good things going for it, and it's got a couple bad things cosmetically, and I will try to show you everything. So again, the good thing that it's got going for it is only 71,000 original miles, so super low mileage. Chassis is in great shape, and one of the reasons the chassis is in great shape is because we have this auxiliary fuel tank here, which prevents any mud from getting stuck in the rear cross member. So rear cross member is in great shape. And also the chassis itself, it has been coated. As you can see, the coating has come off, and I power washed a little bit there, but underneath is super solid metal. It just needs to be cleaned up, brushed, and recoated. Otherwise, the chassis is in great shape. So super low mileage, great chassis, great running engine, gearbox, and everything like that. And then cosmetically, it has a few things. So we'll start off here in the front wings, beautiful shape, Coniston green, bulkhead, great shape. Windscreen seal, that'll probably need to be replaced. Under the bonnet here, looks a little dirty, but again, there's the factory sticker here, so the bulkhead hasn't been painted or repaired or anything. There's the top side of the footwells. Those are in great shape. Now, a couple things that I would do. The cyclone breather, probably replace that one with an all sport. Valve cover gasket seems to be a little bit weepy. The intake gasket as well. You can see a little bit of oil there on the side of the motor. These hoses look okay, but while you're in here, you might as well dress it up a little bit with some new hoses. All right, timing belt. This is an aftermarket gasket here, so timing belts are good for 60,000 miles. This has only done 70, so it's on its second timing belt, so it should have a lot of life left in it. Pulley tensioner here for the alternator or the serpentine belt. A little squeaky. This bearing is shot in here, so it's a little bit squeaky. This could be replaced along with the alternator belt here. Looks a little bit worn, but other than that, the engine again doesn't need anything. It's just like some basic maintenance. The insulation underneath the bonnet is in pretty decent shape, no rips or tears. Tiny little bit of sagging going on here, but all in all, this whole piece is in really good shape. Headlights are good, grill's good, bumper's really good. This looks like to be a new bumper here, so that's in really good shape. Tires are great. These are BF Goodrich all-terrains, 235/85 R16, so that's the proper size. Here's a good look at the front outriggers. Again, these are in really good shape. They look a little bit dirty and a little bit of surface rust on there, but those can easily be just cleaned and painted to keep them in good shape for the next 25 years. The Defender badge on the side is sun faded. The doors are probably the worst part of the vehicle. They're in decent shape. but there's a little bit of rust on the bottoms of the doors, and this can easily be repaired with some square, some metal, some welding. You don't have to replace those doors. And the sills are in pretty decent shape. Again, a little bit of paint flaking off, but they're not all rusted out, so they're in pretty decent shape. Middle row doors, we do have some rust up here and at the bottom of the doors. Again, these can be repaired because replacing them is kind of costly, but repairing is a lot easier. Also, we do have some rust right here in this corner piece, and they do sell these separately. You can buy this whole piece and replace it. And then same story on the other side. A little bit of corrosion there in the corners and on the cappings here, a little bit of corrosion right there, and same story. Rust on the bottom of the doors, not too bad. Very repairable. Some corrosion here at the top of the doors, and some rust here and on the bottom. So this door is pretty rough, but again, you've got all of this kit that comes with it: the roof, top tent, the side awning, and the roof rack, the dual battery system, the shelving in the back. So let's take a look at all the good stuff. So this tent took me about 10 minutes to set everything up. Take the there's the cover right there for the tent. You just got to pop that off, and then you pretty much just fold this over, and that's it. You don't have to prop anything up. And then this is like a little mosquito net, and then the door is folded up there, and then inside there's this mattress. So I mean, even a 6 foot or 6.5 foot dude can stretch out in here, and a 6.5 foot lady too at the same time. So pretty spacious up there. And then it's got this little awning to cover the ladder. And then this beast right here, I believe, is an awning that clips on either here or around the side of this awning, because this thing has a zipper right here. And then you can make a full enclosed awning here. Okay, so in the back, there are these monster drawers. So this is another awning as well. So I think there's an awning for the tent and for the side awning, or enclosure. And another smaller drawer here. Some spare parts. And then we got this little shelf right here that just pops off. So that's for cook stove or whatever. And then these shelves are removable, so you can stack your gear up here and put stuff below it as well. You can cook up here, and some storage on the sides. You could even sleep in here and put an air mattress here as well. So you could sleep 3 or 4 people in this whole setup. All right, we do have some LED lights here in the ceiling. Headliner is in good shape. That's been redone. And walking around here to the passenger side, and a couple things I forgot to mention previously. Heavy duty wheel flanges on all 4 tires, 16-inch steel wheels as well. And it does have a pretty sweet fridge setup, and it runs off this power inverter here. And you just basically turn it on there, and it runs off the batteries and keeps your food cold. So this thing is pretty sweet. So these are some really nice seat covers as well. That covers up the seat. We got dual batteries in here. Now, the gentleman that owned this vehicle before I bought it was very meticulous, and he's owned it since 2012, I think, and he's only put about 12,000 miles on since. But look at how he categorized everything: service, miscellaneous parts, and this is all service. You can see from the same place, LRX Services. Every year took it in for an oil change, MOT, and any repairs it needed. So this thing has been maintained very well. So again, a couple really good things going for this vehicle. Low mileage, very good chassis, well maintained, but cosmetically it needs a little bit of love. But bulkhead corners, really good shape. And there's a good look at the roof rack. All right, so let's start it up and then we'll get underneath the vehicle and we'll take it for a test drive as well. So again, only 71,000 original miles. Oh, and we do have a bunch of accessory switches. The only thing that's really hooked up right now is this interior light. And then these are all available for, you know, floodlights and whatever in the future. Okay. Fuel gauge is working, temperature gauge working. Again, it's got a little bit of a squeak coming from the pulley tensioner. The engine runs very smooth and no smoke out of the tailpipe. Okay, so underneath the vehicle here in the rear, it's a little bit surface rusty and a little bit dirty, but everything looks super solid. Just needs a good cleaning. There's a new A-frame ball joint there. It's got a diff guard on the rear diff, one up in the front too as well. New brake lines. Brakes all work great. They're just a little dirty. The dust covers a little bit flaky. So could use maybe a new set of shocks in the rear, but they seem to be operating just fine. And then here's a good look at the rear cross member. Super solid, no repairs needed to it. And then also, it does have a little water spigot here as well. I forgot to mention that. There's a water tank up in here, so it's got a little bit of fresh water to do your dishes and stuff like that. And then this is your auxiliary fuel tank here. That's about an extra 5 gallons, and it's all plumbed into the original tank as well. So that gives you a little bit extra range. Okay, on the driver's side here, pinion seal looks good. Universal joints look good. And there's a good look at the chassis. Again, it does have surface rust, but just needs a good cleaning and some new paint. Center outrigger looks good. Chassis in the middle looks really good. And then there's your transfer case. That looks beautiful, nice and dry, nothing dripping out of there. And here we are on the passenger side. Front radius arm bushings look great. There's your transfer case. Bottom of the chassis. Middle outriggers, those look great. Rear control arm bushings, a little bit of cracking going on there. There's the rear chassis, rear axle. And again, chassis looks great. There's the front outriggers there and the bottom of the motor. Okay, here we are up front. There's a good look at the front. Driver's side swivel looks good. I see some poly bushings here on the front radius arms. Giant skid plate on the front axle as well. And there's the passenger side swivels. Good look at the bottom of the oil pan. Transmission, transfer case, muffler, chassis rails. And then up front here, big old skid plate. Front dumb irons look good as well. Okay, so let's take it for a spin down the road. And just a couple things I really like about this vehicle. Coniston green, probably my favorite color for a Defender. It's got super low mileage, runs and drives great. I wouldn't be afraid to take this thing up north and go camping, which, as a matter of fact, I might do in another video just to see how she does overnight and on long journeys and miles per gallon and all that stuff. That'd be a fun video. Also, chassis is great, bulkhead is great, and it does need some cosmetic work here and there. So this would be a great project vehicle for somebody who wants to be able to still run and drive the vehicle but do some repairs along the way. It won't have to be down and out for a few weeks. You can still drive this thing and work on it. So none of the repairs needed are like imperative. So let's take it for a drive. There's first gear, second gear, nice smooth gear shifts. Third gear. Couple little squeaks and rattles on the interior, but that's pretty typical for a 25-year-old vehicle. There's third gear accelerating uphill. And fourth gear. So we're cruising at 35 miles an hour. This is a pretty loud road because it's dirt and there's some potholes and rocks and stuff here and there. But pretty smooth ride. Again, I think the suspension has been lowered a little bit on this vehicle to help with aerodynamics with the roof rack and everything. So pretty comfortable to get in and out of, and it rides great. So there's fourth gear uphill. It's not really struggling at all, but I am going to downshift into the third gear here around this corner. And we'll accelerate here. That's third gear, 45. Fourth gear, up to 50 miles an hour. And there's fifth gear. Temperature's holding right where it should be, in the middle. Fuel gauge is working. All right, so let's get on the brakes here quite aggressively. Okay, perfect. You see the steering wheel didn't move at all. No pulling right or left. No vibration in the steering wheel, so brakes are great. Let's whip it in reverse here and turn it around. So pretty good visibility out of these windows. They are tinted, but you've got all these windows to look out of, so it's not a van side or a 3-door. All right, let's go through the gears one more time. First gear, second gear. That's 35 miles an hour already. Not too bad. 45, fourth gear, and fifth gear. All right, so she runs and drives great. Everything, gears, brakes, clutch, suspension, all working as they should. And again, a super low mileage vehicle. Just a little bit of cosmetic love that it needs, and it's ready to go camping right now today. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Shoot me a message with any questions that you have. All right.